Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD. In today's video we're going to focus on how to predict spawns in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. The specific mode we'll be focusing on today is Team Deathmatch and Kill Confirmed, but a lot of these spawns carry over to the rest of the game in pretty much all the respawn game modes except for Hardpoint, which has a rotating location that actually affects spawns significantly. I've already done the breakdown for Team Deathmatch and Kill Confirmed for all the 14 base maps in the game, so you'll be able to better predict those spawns when you actually play the modes. And so you have an idea of how the video will be spaced. I'm gonna actually show you how this spawn guide should be applied. I have one of my YouTuber buddies, Qewzee, actually demonstrating this with bots. I'll be loading into the match as a CoD caster, and I'm actually gonna put this specific map overlay over the map that's in game, so you'll actually see how this actually pans out. And to give you just a little bit of information about the map, these little red regions is where people will spawn or tend to spawn. Although I did advanced testing, more than likely there will be a little bit of a random spawn here and there that maybe I missed. You can see the green lines kind of segment where the map will flip. If you push too deep into these areas, it'll automatically rotate the map and flip everyone to the other side. So what I'll be doing is commentating the match and putting emphasis specifically on spawns and where he's positioned in relation to where people are actually spawning. And right after I go through this practical application portion, I'll put all the other 13 maps on the screen so you kind of have an idea of what those are. And then they'll also be linked down in the description along with Qewzee's channel. So in case you want to go ahead and check them out, you can click that link, go ahead and go over there, subscribe, let them know you heard about them through me. So although I focus primarily on Team Deathmatch and Kill Confirmed for this spawn guide, you're going to notice a lot of these spawns are very similar to those that you'd actually experience when you actually go into domination or other modes, with the exception of control, because obviously the spawns are pretty rigid. They're pretty much just going to stay in these areas without flipping. One other note I'll make about this specific gameplay is that I was giving zero direction. I just had him go play, and you can see how he kind of positions and maneuvers around the map. He has a normal mini map on his HUD, but since I'm using the CODcaster view, you can see how my mini map looks, and I've put that overlay already on top so you can see how the spawns are kind of happening. As you can see, he's actually pushing into this part of the spawn. He notices that his teammates are kind of in that area, and pretty much all his teammates are kind of clustered around here. He does see one of the enemies, and then he decides to flank around this left side. So you can see pretty much where all the enemies are spawning in that little cluster where that little bit of a control room is. If you played control, it's in that back little hut in the back of the map. So pretty much all his teammates and everyone is spawning in this general area, and then all the enemies are pushing from that corner. So as he comes around and flanks, you'll see that he kind of throws the little ammo bag down, pushing through, and then now the spawns are starting to flip. As he comes around over here, he goes for a little bit of a flank. Obviously they're bots, so nothing crazy here. He's just pretty much coming around, and it looks like the spawns already started to rotate. So now all of his teammates are spawning behind him, and look at where all the enemies spawn, right at that top of that peak where that little red area is. So pretty much all those people spawn in that one location, and you can look at that location for a good long time, and you can see that pretty much nothing else has happened in that area except for spawning. And then now they spawned at the bottom of the map in that back room, basically that same hut they've been spawning in. So you're gonna see how those spawns kind of rotate back and forth. That is the primary spawn. Now you can see they spawned all the way to the far right of the map. If you can actually see that, it is pretty obvious that they're all spawning in that area. Look where his teammates are, look where everyone is in relation to each other, and you can see why certain spawns are chosen as certain spawns. So now that he's in this little pocket here, pretty much they're all going to spawn on this right side because he still has teammates at the top north side of the map. So what I also like to point out is how quick a spawn trap can happen. You can see one of his random teammates is camping in that little room on the south side on the bottom of the map, and that is anchoring those spawns so that the enemy cannot spawn there. So pretty much everyone is spawning on the right side and continues to spawn on the right side. And now you can see the spawns flip. They're all spawning in that top left corner. So you can see it is very dynamic. It moves on the fly. And now they're all spawning on the top side of the map. You can see he kind of acknowledges this, and then he starts rotating to the other side. As soon as he's cleared through the spawn, he has a good idea instinctively that everyone's on the other side. Again, I was giving him zero instructions. He's playing the map, and pretty much I recorded the gameplay so I could do the commentary now. So you can see right here, now they're all spawning on the top side, and then it already flipped to that right side. Now they're all spawning to the right side in the bottom right hand corner, and you can see they haven't spawned again in that little hut area. They are all spawning in this back area. That's why, again, a spawn trap is so likely to happen. He's literally in the spawn. They're killing him, and now look where they all spawn, that little hut. As soon as he went into that spawn, it already made him a little bit more dynamic. They moved because all of his teammates are sitting on the north side all the way at the top of the map. So that pretty much forces them all into this corner. And then as he comes around, pushes through, since his teammates are anchoring that top spawn, they all spawn again on this side. So I would recommend you actually go to a custom match, set up recruit bots, put them 6 versus 6, play the match, and try to get enough practice so that it feels intuitive to you where people are actually spawning without even knowing. Using Team Link in here would be good as well because you could see where enemies are spawning based off where your teammates are. If you know your teammates are in certain designated areas, obviously the enemy team will be spawning in one location. You can see they're all spawning on the north side now. He does look like he's going to rotate back, but then he ends up coming back to where they're all located. Pretty much all the streaks are going ham right now, and it looks like they started spawning in the bottom right corner, and intuitively he pushes that way. Whether he had a recon in the air or not, you can see literally all of them spawn in this room. He starts taking them out as they spawn out of this room. They are in a general spawn trap. All his teammates are on the top of the map, so pretty much everyone should spawn down at the bottom. You can just see that guy just popped up. Now they're spawning at the bottom of the map. If they do happen to kill his teammates in the spawn, which didn't happen, it would have flipped to that area. But now it looks like they're all in the bottom little hut area. He's killed them all, and that's pretty much the game. I'm going to definitely transition to the 13 other maps. So if you did enjoy the video so far, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on so you can get more content related to Call of Duty news, in-game updates, best class setup, subscriber breakdowns, as well as other tip and trick videos like this one you're seeing today. Also, let me know down in the comment section below if you think this type of video is helpful and if you'd like to see more of these in the future. So what you're going to see right now is we got the arsenal mode right here on the screen. We already kind of talked a little bit about this one. We got contraband. And after looking at these, I think you can see a pattern emerge. Whatever the main spawn is, that's going to be the predominant spawn. Here's frequency. You can see there's the main spawn on the right, main on the left. And there are a couple little breakaway emergency spawns in case there is nowhere else to spawn. They will spawn in one of these vacant areas. And the next map we'll take a look at is Gridlock. And right here you can see kind of the same pattern emerges. Little home spawn, and then one of these little free spawns a little bit further. Hacienda right here, not too much freedom in this one. There are those two locations. You got Icebreaker, top right, bottom left. Pretty much that's the main spawns. Bottom left, bottom right, same thing for jungle. And the pattern just continues and continues. Right here you can see the same thing for militia. Not much freedom in the spawns. Morocco, you're not going to have really too much variation. Just to the home spawn, pretty much. Wherever it's at, that's kind of majority of it. Obviously there are little breakaway spawns here and there. Same thing with Payload. You can spawn just a little bit forward, but not all the way that deep. Seaside, you have those home spawns as well. And then you got Slums, which has those main spawns as spawns, but they also have these little breakaway ones. And the last map in the rotation is Summit, which basically follows the exact same trend where these green lines are. That's where you're probably going to flip the spawns. You can get really close to that line without flipping it, but for the most part, if all your team is approaching that line, more than likely that's what's going to cause a flip in the spawns. And now this is the part of the video where I actually ask for your guys' specific help on what you guys want from these videos, because on my end I already got a good understanding of how all the spawns work on all the maps, on all the modes, with the exception of Hardpoint, just because that one's a little different. So if you'd like to see any of the other maps broken down like I did the first portion of this video, you're definitely going to have to let me know down in the comment section below. If you see anyone agreeing with the same map you want to talk about, make sure you give that thumbs up, respond to them, say this, just so I know, because the activity has to be there for these videos to be worth it, because I actually do enjoy making them, but if no one wants to watch them, then it doesn't make sense to put them out. One other video I plan on doing related to spawns and spawn guides in general for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is a free-for-all spawn guide and tell you specifically where you need a position so you can maximize your kills, minimize deaths, and reduce all those times where you get shot in the back. Because in free-for-all, a lot of times if you just move, more than likely you're going to get shot in the back. So you got to know exactly which way you need to rotate, which way you need to position, based off where all the spawns are designated, so that basically you'll be able to win every single free-for-all match you enter, and then be able to maximize your overall fun with the game. Because when you go into free-for-all, you haven't had a lot of experience with it. Most noobs just kind of run around. They're not really familiar with what they need to do, instead of locking down a specific area. So I'll make sure I target those specific areas, because there are a lot of challenges related to free-for-all that you're going to want to complete for that bonus XP, or if you're going to want to go for that nuked out. So if you want to go for a nuked out, that's 30 kills without dying, without any streak kills. Also, if you've been a subscriber for a while and there's certain videos you've seen me do in the past that I haven't done so far, let me know down in the comments section so I can make sure I start doing those in case I've missed out on one. I've done a ton of videos. I did over 300 videos for World War II, and I'd like to carry over some of those video ideas that were very successful, that you guys enjoyed watching, and that were very helpful, so I can incorporate them into the videos I'm doing now, because I'm sure there's a ton of breakdowns that you guys have about this specific game that I haven't covered, and a lot of people probably haven't covered either. Just a reminder, all 14 spawn maps for Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Team Deathmatch, and Kill Confirmed will be down in the description, so you can click on those links if you want to practice on any of these specific maps. If you did enjoy the video in any way, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.